Hello everyone, this is Senrex here from the Order 66 Hellions, and today I'm going to be doing my 11th roster review on our good friend King Leo, so let's jump right into it. As always, on the itinerary today, we're going to be doing the account overview in-game, fleets in-game, roster, who's missing characters, etc., as well as Datacrons in-game, and then we will come back to the regular format for Grand Arena Championships, mods, suggestions, and self. Right, everyone, jumping right into today's roster review. First is King Leo. Now, a few things to note, as I mentioned before, it seems like everybody and their mother has Leviathan. Leo is one of those people. He's currently sitting in Kyber 3 with a pretty solid arena performance and a very solid fleet arena performance. Fleet arena performance is what we really care about because it's what offers the crystals. But, having a relatively competitive arena performance is also nice to see as well, as it just shows that the account is a little bit overall active. So let's get right into Leo's fleets. First and foremost, his fleets are amazing. As you can see, lots of relic pilots, even niche pilots. And as we're going to scroll down to the bottom here, we're going to see that he has the Leviathan, the Profundity, the Executor, the Malevolence, the Negotiator, the Chimera, the Endurance, and the Executrix all up to relic levels in terms of his fleet commanders. Overall, his fleet roster is very, very solid. He has all of his pilotless ships, his BLT, his Hyena, his TIE, his Rebel Y-Wing, and his Vulture Droid up to 7 stars, which is what we like to see. So his fleets are overall extremely strong. A few important things to note is that he does have a little bit of a hole in his fleet, as his Empire lineup is not amazing. He's got the Scythe, he's got the TIE Interceptor, he's got the Imperial TIE Fighter, he's got the Emperor Shuttle, but he's lacking the TIE Defender, which is really what makes this fleet competitive. So if I was in Leo's shoes, I would definitely consider farming his Iden Versio up to relic levels to make his TIE Defender with his Chimera or his Executrix lineup more competitive. And the only other weakness that he has is his Rebel fleet. He does have the Profundity, but what he doesn't have up to snuff is a solid B tier Home 1 fleet. With the Profundity, you're really only going to be using 3 or 4 ships, absolute maximum. That gives you a nice, bit of overflow. So maybe getting his Home 1 getting his Admiral Akbar up to Relic would benefit him a little bit. But overall, his fleet performance is extraordinary compared to most people in his range. Let's go right into characters now. Talking about his roster, the first thing that jumps out at me is the fact that he's 9 million GP and he only has 3 Galactic Legends, which is honestly quite low. But as we scroll through his roster, we see a lot of good things. First, it looks like he's farming with his Relicate Padme to a Lord Vader lineup. He has his Inquisitors, he's got his Admiral Raddus, he's got his Piet. All of these teams look very solid. His Inquisitors are all up to Relic. He's got a Shaak Ti. He's got a very solid Galactic Republic lineup. He's got his Scoundrels up to Relic with his Dash Rendar. A lot of very, very, very solid teams here and a lot of roster depth. Now, there's a few things that jump out at me that are kind of missing from his roster. First and foremost, let's go right here to his Darth Traya. His Darth Traya does not have an Omicron. She's only gear 12. And a lot of his Sith characters are not quite up to snuff. So given that he does have Starkiller and he does have Darth Talon up to Relic, I think that, taking his Darth Traya and his Sith Triumphant up to a Relic 5 level would probably be very helpful for him overall in his Grand Arena performance, as well as the fact that Darth Traya is just a really, really, really freaking cool character. Makes her a hot commodity and desired by a lot of people, so I think that would be pretty cool for him to get. Next, and important to note, is that he has a lot of Gear 12 characters. I think this is just indicative of how the game's going. It's a lot easier to get a character up to Gear 12 now, but a lot harder to get a character up to Gear 13. So overall, he's got a ton of Gear 12 characters, like the Armorer, Darth Scion, Cara Dune, Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum, Nest, that are like good, solid B tier characters that everyone would love to have up to Relic. But unfortunately, at this point, he just is unable to take them all to Relic. So when we're talking about who's missing in his lineup a little bit more, I think I'm going to scroll down here and I'm going to talk about 2 characters that I believe are right next to each other. Yep, here they are. Boba Fett, Sign of Django, and Fennec Shand. These 2 characters are absolutely, positively amazing. With your other Scoundrels lineup, your Quill, your IG, they are extremely, extremely potent on offense. If I had Boba Fett and Fennec up to 7 stars, I would certainly take them to Relic, as they are a very, very, very solid offensive team and can counter Galactic Legends like Lord Vader extremely easily. So if I was in your position, I would say maybe, farm up your Boba Fett, Sign of Django, and your Fennec Shand. Other than those few characters, this roster overall is very, very, very good and very well put together. Now, last thing we're going to talk about is Datacrons, and honestly, I'm a little bit disappointed because for a 9 million GP roster, I think I would like to see a lot more Archaic Rite Datacrons in particular. The Steadfast Resolve data set is pretty decent, but it's not really what you want to see a whole lot of, because the secondaries on that are not nearly as amazing as the Archaic Rites Datacron set. So if you can, before it expires in October, maybe farming up a couple extra Archaic Rites Datacrons would help improve your overall Grand Arena performance and Territory War, as you have a lot more teams fully relic than you do have Datacrons to fill them with. So farming up some more Datacrons would only help you in the long run. All right, let's get right into talking about his Grand Arena Championship performance.
All right, let's talk about Leo's Grand Arena Championship performance. First and foremost, he has been improving in recent months. He is on the rough border, as I like to call it, between Kyber 2 and Kyber 3, which is a very, very, very tough zone to break through. It's actually where I've been stuck for the past few Grand Arenas. So let's talk about what he can do to break through this barrier and get into Kyber 2 more consistently. First and foremost, more Galactic Legends. Being at 9 million Galactic power and only having 3 Galactic Legends is kind of a rare occurrence. His fleets are certainly a lot stronger overall than his Galactic Legends in his roster. He's got a lot more good fleets than he does Galactic Legends, so I think farming Galactic Legends should be a priority. Next would be some more high relic characters that are Grand Arena Championship focused. I'm going to be talking about these more in my moving forward section, as well as his modding. His modding is really going to be key into bringing him over through this boundary. Let's talk about his mods. He's got a solid mod score of about 4.0, but he's lacking high quality speed mods, which means his characters like Commander Ahsoka Tano, Jedi Master Kenobi, his Shock Tees, any character that really heavily depends on having a set of 6 really, really, really solid speed mods is going to be suffering, his Darth Revan. So based on that information, I would say that we can fix this pretty easily, because what you can see is that he has a lot of 15 plus speed mods and 10 plus speed mods. And if you farm 6E to 6D slicing materials and focus on slicing mods that are 15 speed up from 6A to 6D, you are going to fill out a lot of these 10 plus and 15 plus speed mods into 20 and 25 plus speed mods very, very, very quickly. So Leo, you've got a really good base to get these mods up into the higher echelons. It's just a matter of focusing on farming the necessary materials and slicing up mods consistently, even though slicing is really, really, really luck-based and obnoxious to deal with a lot of times. It's a necessary part of the game. So if I was in your shoes, I'd recommend buying those 350 crystal refreshes every day and just farming mod materials with it. Once every 2 weeks or so, take all those mod materials that you have, slice some mods from 5A up to 6D, calibrate them a few times if you got some calibration materials, and every week you should have 6 or 7 new solid mods. On top of this, you can work on purchasing 5A mods and 5B mods from the mod shop if you got extra credits, and then just leveling those mods up to level 15, hopefully getting some more good mods around the 10 to 15 speed range that are not quite 6 dot. So when you slice them up to 6 dot and 6D, you will be in a good position to get a 20 or a 25 plus speed secondary. Going forward, first and foremost, he only has 3 Galactic Legends. So going forward, I have 2 Galactic Legends that I think Leo should strongly consider. First is Lord Vader, as he is in my guild, and we will be getting Riva very, very, very shortly. It looks like he has made some progress on some Lord Vader characters, so getting Lord Vader up to Relic is going to help him out a lot once he obtains that Riva character. Next would be Jabba the Hutt, as an account of this size could probably get to the Jabba the Hutt requirements very, very, very quickly. I have detailed here what he has in his Hutt cartel. A lot of them are looking pretty solid. He just needs to farm a few characters up a few stars. And once he gets Jabba the Hutt and Lord Vader, I'm sure that he will be making it easily into Kyber 2 with the rest of his setup. Next, rounding out some characters up to higher relic levels, his Darth Malgus and his Starkiller would definitely benefit from going up a few levels. They're both very, very, very useful in Territory War and Grand Arena, so I would highly recommend you take both your Starkiller and your Darth Malgus up to Relic 7 or Relic 8 whenever possible, as having these guys just at Relic 5, you're not quite getting the full benefit of their character's kit. Lastly, I would consider Dr. Aphra, because your account's very large, it's very expansive, you got a lot of characters. You know, it seems like you're taking characters up to Relic really quickly. Gearing up the Aphra characters, getting them to Relic are going to offer you a couple support characters that are going to be really nice to have, as well as the fact that Dr. Aphra is a glass cannon on offense. Since you're down a lot of Galactic Legends in your Grand Arena Championships, it could help to have an Aphra team to help you blow through a Galactic Legend on defense. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you enjoyed this roster review, I'm doing free roster reviews just like this one. Post your Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.gg in the comments down below, and I have 3 guilds linked in the guild in the description of this video. So if you're looking for a guild, come give these 3 guilds a shout based on your galactic power level. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope everyone has a fantastic day.